You hear those beachy vibes, so you know what time it is. It is time for the morning marketplace. Listen, it feels like I haven't been here in a long time, and I was like, oh, I must have taken some days off, but I didn't. Well, we were here on Friday. We were here Friday, and now it's Monday, but it feels like an eternity. An eternity has gone since we last did this. A lot happening on the marketplace. I think on Saturday, everyone was losing their shit, and then like Jesus rising. So did the marketplace yesterday, on brand, rising on Easter. Basketball Empire with an amazing point. Happy you could do this now instead of the ass crack of morning. Yeah, you want to know why we're doing this at 9 and not at 7:30 in the morning? Because I don't know how I did it, whether it was fist pumping too hard, but I have a severely sprained rotator cuff, and I can't work this week because I have to rest that shit. So that's where we're at right now. So we're going to be doing all 9 a.m. shows this entire week. Anyways, no one's here to talk about my rotator cuff. I'm glad everyone's here. I'm glad to be doing this at 9 a.m. If you haven't had a chance to listen, let's get some business out of the way. All right. Business out of the way. Like the stream. Just got to hit the like button, right? We need to stay at 50% right now. We're off to a good start, but let's keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? So like the stream. If you look at our show notes, you can follow us on Twitter at Top Shot Takes. You can follow me, join the Discord, all of that good stuff. But now it's time to grind, right? It's time to grind. If you guys have questions as we go along, feel free to fire them in there. If we'll try to get to every question. I'm definitely going to miss some, so don't lose your shit if I don't get to it right away. I'll get to it, baby. Let's talk about last night's action. Actually, you know what we got to talk about first? You think we can get Paul Pierce? You think we can get a Paul Pierce moment from this weekend? Holy hell. If you weren't on Twitter or Instagram this weekend, maybe you were like, I need a social media cleanse. Well, Paul Pierce needs a whole nother cleanse after this weekend. Man was wilding out this weekend. Shout out to the truth. It was the faded truth this weekend, the faded truth. Okay, let's actually talk about some basketball, though. Paul Pierce, the GOAT. Let's talk about some actual basketball. So, the Pelicans decided pretty early on, or not pretty early on. They decided this week, hey, we're just not going to play our starters for a couple days. We're just going to give everybody some time off. Zion's hurt. Everybody's hurt. So some weird ass games. They played the Rockets last night. Also weird ass team right now, right? The Rockets just running out Kevin Porter Jr., bunch of juniors. We had Kenyon Martin, Kevin Porter, all the juniors. So what I wanted to talk about, Lonzo last night. Lonzo. Did anybody see this? Anybody see my man Lonzo last night? He had 8 for 15 from 3, I think. Shot over 50% from 3. First game back after his, like a hip issue. He's out for a little bit. So let's look at Lonzo. Sorry, I just gulped right into that mic. Hell yeah. Oh, let's go Spencer. Getting that vax, baby. All right, so Lonzo Series 1 moment. Let's look at this. This is down to 149. So we pumped it. I don't know. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think it was not even a couple weeks, probably last week. It was like 220. We thought he was getting traded. So we're like, oh, Lonzo's going to go to a real contender. What's that going to mean? Well, he didn't get traded, although his agent's still putting out information. Like, yeah, he expects to be in New York or Chicago or somewhere else. So who knows where Lonzo is going to be. But I like this moment. I mean, first of all, it's a sick assist, like a full court pass to our boy. Was that Josh Hart or was that Nickeil Alexander-Walker? But Lonzo really has turned a corner this year. Like, he's turned into a marksman from 3. He's playing off the ball really well. I don't know. I'm just looking at his price. It seems pretty cheap. Again, not financial advice, but I think I'm going to pay pretty close attention this week to Series 1, because one of the things we saw over the weekend, especially on Friday and Saturday, Series 1 stuff was really taking a hit. It was really dipping down. So I'm going to keep my eye out on those. And let's say in that same game, and we've talked about him quite a bit, and if I don't bring him up now, usually we get asked about him because it's like a dunk on me a little bit because I forgot about Kevin Porter Jr. But they've been sitting John Wall. The Rockets don't want to win games, right? The Rockets have to actively lose, because if their draft pick is out of the top 4, they keep it. But if it's in the top 4, they lose their draft pick. So Kevin Porter Jr. is now just going to run point guard for John Wall, and that's what that's what's happening. This was like $800 a couple weeks ago. This was like $800, and this is down to 380. This is a triple star 3-badge moment. It's a sick dunk. I don't know. I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. is looking like he's going to be. He's like almost like a scoring first point guard, but his usage is like through the roof with the Rockets right now. I don't know if, the Rockets don't have a path to being a competitive team anytime soon, but he's going to put up some monster stat lines. He did it last. I forget what his final line was, but his usage is just going to be so high. And him and Christian Wood haven't really figured out how to rock together yet. Yeah, he only had a 12, 5, and 5 last night, but still, he's going to be rocking out. He's going to be rocking out. All right, let's go. I want to move on to, somebody copped it in the chat too. Joe Vu finally got your Killian Hayes. Let's actually look at Killian Hayes, who returned from injury. Killian returned from injury, his first moment, 225. I think it's going to take some time for Killian to get really rolling. But the other thing, man, the Pistons started the year with an insanely packed front court where they just signed and drafted every big man they could find. And then as the year went on, they started just stacking guards too. So now they've got like a pretty backed up backcourt right now with like Diallo, Josh Jackson. They traded DeLon Wright, but they have Dennis Smith Jr., Saban Lee, and now Killian Hayes is back. So I'll be curious to see what they do with his minutes. I'm pretty sure they had a minute restriction on him for his first game back. Let me just double check how many minutes my man Killian plays. Wow, they got blown out by the Knicks in that game, 125-81. And Hayes came off the bench, played 19 minutes with 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Took 3 shots, didn't make one. So I'm going to keep an eye on Killian's stat lines and just like how they're playing him. D-Threat says about Killian a week ago in anticipation of coming back. Then Saturday when he came back, his moment tanked. Yeah, he didn't look great on Saturday, but long-term holds, right? Long-term holds. Yeah, Basketball Empire makes a good point too. The rookies in general are unbelievably cheap right now. So I'm with you. I was texting with Dustin and Greg, who, speaking of which, we're going to be back tomorrow night. The full gang is going to be back tomorrow night. I think like 8:30 Eastern most likely, but we'll tweet it out. But I was like, is there any value in just collecting all of the rookies? Like all of them? Should we just go get all of them? Like complete the entire set? I mean, the Wiseman one, let's look at James Wiseman. That one tanked. Wiseman actually looked all right last night in a few minutes. So yeah, down to 530, but I'm pretty sure this was in the 400 range over the weekend. And man, his rising star is down to 450. Now, granted, that challenge is over, but God, I think Wiseman, the Warriors are like clearly if they're going to make the playoffs, they're going to be in the 9-10 range, I think. So Wiseman's going to start getting more run because I don't think the Warriors are like, yeah, baby, we get that 9 seed. We're going to go on a run. I don't think they actually see that happening. So I can see Wiseman's minutes bloating up a little bit over the next few weeks. But to see that at 530, I mean, this is well over 1K not too long ago. Let's look at LaMelo too. That moment came way down as well. 1900. Okay, so it settled back up at 1900, but his rising star at 1850 too. So yeah. Ooh, Zax has got a PJ 175 today. No, this isn't no horses yet. Although I got to tell you, man, every time I watch Club Top Shot or see Jonathan Bales tweet out that video, I do want to do it. I do want to do it. We're not going to talk about it here, but I'm getting the itch. I'll say that. But yeah, these rookies really they've come down a little bit. And now, I mean, LaMelo, this was at 4K, it's down to 1900. That is going to go back up. Let's look at PJ too, because someone mentioned him. Listen, guys, PJ is not playing great. PJ is not playing great. Now Gordon Hayward went down too. And this is like, I'm going to remind everybody, PJ's not a creator, so he's not going to be the one making the magic happen. And you took off the 2 best playmakers on the team in Hayward and LaMelo. And poor Gordon Hayward, I don't want to say poor Gordon Hayward. Hayward's doing fine financially, but dude can't stay healthy. Dude cannot stay healthy. And he was having a good year too. But wow, his metallic gold down to 990, his rookie debut 1K, 159. Wow, might be double down time. Yeah, Deep Thread says PJ got the Zakarian curse. Are you buying any legendary moments in this market? Let's look. Let's look up some legendary stuff. Just see what's messing around here. What am I doing? There we go. God. All right, let's sort by lowest ask. We'll do that. I'm not buying Andre Drummond. I'll tell you that right now. Loses a toenail first game. Tough break. Tough break for the Lake Show. Lake Show, who lost again now. Remember we talked about, actually, I'll save that. I'll save that whole segment for a second. No, I don't think I'm actually looking for legendaries right now. I do own this Marcus Smart right here. Marcus Smart for the Boston Celtics. Yeah, I don't think I'm looking at anything legendary right now. I just don't. I mean, the closest thing I'm looking for, but it's rare. You know what? We're just going to talk about the Nuggets. We're just going to do it. Okay. I'm sorry, Pants. I'm not looking for anything legendary at this moment. I am looking at the Series 1 Jokic base moments, though. I am there. You know what? Let me. I'm going to blow this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. All right. Where am I going here? So, his Series 1 first moment is down to 1,500. I know I just say down to 1,500, but dude, Jokic is winning the MVP. It's happening. Harden's now missed a couple games. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for Jokic to make moves here. So last night they played the Magic last night, and I fell asleep because part of having a severely sprained rotator cuff is you get some muscle relaxers, and I slept like a freaking baby last night. But when I fell asleep, the Magic were up like 20 on the Nuggets, and I was like, what the hell is happening? Let me go back to, I think his final line was like 17, 9, and 6 or something like that. Ooh, that hurts. 17, 9, and 6. Is that right? 17, 16, and 9. I'm sorry. 17, 16, and 9. So the Nuggets have now moved up. They are now officially in the 4 seed. 2 wins behind the Clippers for the 3 seed. The Lakers are just tumbling down a hill until they get their dudes back, which, like, I'm not panicking if I'm a Lakers fan, but I just think this is padding Jokic's MVP case, right? Embiid came back. Clearly, though, Embiid is not going to be able to play back-to-backs, and he looked good in his first game back. He did, but then they played the next night. They sat him. He's just going to miss too many games. He can't win MVP. Harden's now missing a few games, so, like, everything, whether you think Jokic is the MVP or not, everything around him is allowing him to be the MVP because everyone else has fallen out. Harden has that hamstring. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if he's like missing a bunch of games, but just any game he misses is continuing to boost up Jokic. I mean, you can make the case for Dame, but if the Nuggets fall or finish way ahead of the Blazers, not even way ahead, but just ahead of them, I think it's happening. I think Jokic has to win it. Conscious Coma says, I think Jokic broke a record for most double digits assists for center last night. So the one thing I was talking on another podcast, the 89 Cavs, which I host with 2 of my friends. We just talk basketball, and it's 3 comedians talking about basketball. Really good time. Go check it out. But he was saying like the NBA is just not going to let him win the MVP. They'll like refuse. Big men can't win it. Wow, you can tell the LA crew had a meeting this morning and had to get up earlier than normal. Thought you were going to wait for Greg and I. Good morning, Mike. Just here for your weekly content audit. Yeah, shout out Greg and Dustin. We'll be back Tuesday night. I hope you guys have a good meeting. That's the only thing that makes sense for you guys to be up right now. But anyways, I think, right, so his base one, this is still expensive. I'm not saying it's not expensive, but $14.99. And then his rare metallic gold is $47.50. Now, I'm not spending $47.50 on this. I'm just saying I think there's a lot of value in Jokic. And now if you're saying like, hey, Mike, I want a Jokic, but I also don't want to spend $1,500 because we are the minnow tank, the minnow vault, whatever you want to call us. Let's scroll down a little bit. Oh, wait, I still have let's scroll up a little bit. So his Series 2 out of 35K, $17. All right, that's a good entry point for a potential MVP. And then $52 for his 15K. So there's entry points here to get like a nice little Jokic. All right, hold on. We're going to take a sip. There we go. That's for you, Dustin. Oh, shit. That's right. I did see this was trending. It's good to know that both Greg and Dustin are okay over in LA. And we'll be definitely talking about the Bruins, right? Jalen Suggs, yikes. Yikes, that one hurt. Lowry, same as Jokic base moment. Which one would you get? I would get Jokic 100%. And all right, we haven't done this in a while. And if you're like, hey, Mike, I wish you wouldn't do this, I apologize. But we're going to look at Metallic Gold Series 1, and we'll go from descending. And let's just like compare these prices a little bit, because when you, yeah, it was a gulp. When you compare these, like, how are you comparing Lowry to Jokic right now with what's happening? I mean, I guess long-term you're like, well, Lowry did win a championship. I just don't think there's a world in which when their careers are over, we think that Lowry had a better career than Jokic, in my opinion anyways. All right, here we go. So LeBron is right at 36K. Luka, wow, look at the drop between a LeBron Series 1 Metallic Gold and a Luka. 14.5, Harden 14, Zion 13, Curry 13, Embiid 10. So, like, these all make sense. Kyrie was starting to get, I'm like, okay, Kyrie, I guess makes sense. John Collins is almost 10K. And then there's a huge drop. Kevin Porter Jr. The Kevin Porter Jr. moment is worth more than the Jokic moment right now. Jaylen Brown, again, I love Jaylen Brown. How is that more expensive than the Jokic moment? Devin Booker, same thing. Fred VanVleet is more expensive than the Jokic moment. Porzingis is more expensive than the Jokic moment. Like, what are we doing? The market's on drugs. All right. Jokic I don't get it. Oh, thank you, Deep Threat. Listen, I see you getting in a jab now, but I saw you put some nice comments up at the beginning of the show before we even went live. So I saw that. Nice try. All right, let's stay on the Nuggets for a second. I want to look at Aaron Gordon, who has fit in just beautifully with the Nuggets. I love what's happening with the Nuggets right now. Aaron Gordon, he shows up, and all he has to do is play defense and cut. He's like made perfectly for Jokic, because he's just like, Jokic can find anybody, and there's so much attention is being brought to Jokic and to Murray and to Porter. He's going to get dunks. Like, Gordon's probably not going to put up 30 a game, but it's going to be easy. Shout out to the Twitch gang over here. Yeah, I see this, Ben. I see the others are fewer mints, and I get it. But like, I get it. I get the argument. I would rather have a Jokic in my opinion. Yeah, there we go. I get it. Everyone's making good points. $299 instead of $150. I guess, like, would you rather have serial 30 of $150 of a John Collins, or would you rather have 30 of $299 of Nikola Jokic? You know what I'm saying? Tom, yeah, you're right. We got to do some business. Oh my gosh, we're not at 50%, guys. We're not at 50%. There's 140 some odd people watching right now. We need to be at least in the 70s with the likes. So do me a favor, like the stream real quick. Yeah, Jokic all day. This is the morning Jokic show. That's what we're doing here. All right, I want to look at Gordon, then we're going to look at MPJ as well. And then we'll talk challenges, because Frank brought it up too. Good call. All right, here we go. Aaron Gordon, $7, baby. All right, I'm not saying go get that. I just wanted to take a look at these. So his Metallic Gold Series 2 is at $254. His Metallic Gold, no, that's just the Series 1 base moment is, wow, $133 for his base moment. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Like, I don't know if this is considered buy low on a guy, but if you think Aaron Gordon's going to stay in Denver and they are just going to cook for the next few years, I don't know when his contract is up, though. So that's something I need to pay attention to, because if he's in a contract year, or maybe he's got one more year, he's going to want to get paid, and the Nuggets aren't going to be able to pay him. But if he showcases himself, he goes out, has a nice little playoff run, he gets paid somewhere else, who knows? All right, so Aaron Gordon, let's look at Michael Porter Jr. and then Jamal Murray, because I think what's fun about this team too is they're not gonna beat you with defense, right? They're not gonna defense win. Well, they're not gonna win games with defense. This is gonna be all offense. So they're gonna be a fun team to watch. So what's nuts about Michael Porter Jr.'s rising star moment is this dude's in the challenge right now, so it should be pumped up a little bit more, but $294. Yikes. Metallic Gold Series 1. So this is his first moment on the site, triple badge, 2,800. Again, if you just want like an entry point on a young potential star, $20 for 15K. And then Series 1, only double badge, 384. And then his base moment at 1K, which this has been like floating between, I think, like 1,200 and 900 over the last few days. Yeah, I really like Michael Porter Jr. That dude's ceiling is high, and he's getting more comfortable in the offense. I really like him. All right, thank you, Dennis. AG's under contract through next year, so they get one more year with him. Ooh, and then MCO, I see your comment too. We will talk about Capella before we go to challenges. Jamal Murray, again, I think we've said this before, right? I think they saw what Jamal did in the bubble, and they were like, okay, this Canadian brother is going to be averaging 50 points a game throughout the regular season. And he started off a little slow, but he's starting to round in form the last few weeks, especially since the All-Star break. You got him $23 for $15K. His Series 1 handles moment. So this isn't his first moment, but it is Series 1, 153. He's got a rare for 660, but I wanted to find his base moment. Is it that one right there? Yeah, so 547 for his first moment on the site. I don't know. I like that. I like Jamal. All right, let's pull up Clint Capella too, because I saw that comment. And Clint Capella I played him last night in some DraftKings, and Clint Capella has had 2 games in the last couple of weeks against the Warriors and has just destroyed them. But his first moment on the site out of 12K is only $27. And the Hawks look a little frisky right now. We've talked about Bogdanovich maybe too much. But he was like running the offense last night. I know Trae Young was a little dinged up, so even though he was playing, he didn't look good last night, and then he got hurt again towards the end of the game, so they closed without him. But Bogdanovich is looking really nice, and Capella's just like fitting in. He just plays defense, picks up boards. I think, what was it? Let's look at his line right now. I think he was close to a big beef. Shout out No Dunks. But let's double check. He's not on the Rockets anymore, so we don't have to check that score. But he is on the Hawks, who beat the Warriors 117-111. And Capella 24-18, man. 24-18. And he's done this a couple times in the last few weeks. So if you think the Hawks can do something in the East, and the East is so bunched up, and by do something, I mean maybe win one round. Like maybe they finish in the 4 seed, get to the second round, and they get smoked by whoever they play. But that starting 5 is starting to look nice. With Trae Young, Bogdanovich, you're going to have DeAndre Hunter. Capella, yeah, it's kind of nice. All right, let's talk about I'll look at a few more things, then we'll look at the challenges because I saw some questions. Chris McCabe, shout out McCabe. What would you buy, Ayton or Ingram's first moment? And go. All right, let's look at Ayton's first moment and Ingram's first moment. All right, here we go. So Ayton's first moment is, wow, it's down to 140. Holy smokes. And Ingram's first moment is, did I miss it? Oh, right here, 160. Wow. I mean, I think I go Ayton only because I think I like Ingram more as a player. But for immediate upside, I mean, Ayton's actually going to play in the playoffs. So, and I do, like we've talked about this before too. I think the next boost we're going to see in the marketplace, I don't know if we see it before then, but I do think we'll see a playoff boost. And if that's the case, I think I want the Suns, right? Because they're going to be in there. Yeah, that's what I'm with you, Conscious Coma. I'm with you. All right, let's look at the Mike Conley All-Star moment, and then we'll look at challenges. See what this went to. All right, where's that? 148. All right, so it's like settled at 148. I thought that was going to come down a little bit more. But 148, there you go. Honestly, that's better than what I thought that reward was going to go for. So if you got it, if you went for that reward, I'm glad you're getting some more money back. Because without that audio, how much do you think that's going for? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be 148. Oh, we got a cough. And we unmuted. A+ for me. All right, let's look at some moments. We'll shout out. I'm going to refresh it too. Own the Moment. Check their website out. Check their content out. OTMNFT.com. It's live now, so I feel better sharing this stuff. What did you say? That Conley moment, that Conley premium is 100. Yeah, if it comes down to 18, I'm in on it. But it's going to come down to 18. Ooh. All right, I like looking at this. I probably should have done this at the beginning of the show, but the top 5 gainers. So DeAndre Jordan's Deck the Hoops, Anthony Davis's Throwdown, KPJ's Throwdown, Brooks Metallic Gold, and Kevin Huerter's Early Adopters are moving up. So it's always interesting to see what's moving up and what's moving down. And sometimes these are moving up because the lowest, there was one that's been on the market for a while and it was a much lower than everything else. It got scooped. So then all of a sudden it goes up 63%. Top 5 losers: Marquise Chris, Draymond, lace them up, Brandon Ingram, throwdown series 1, the Chetty Osman, Cosmic, and Nemanja Bjelica for 700. All right, let's take a look at some of the challenges. Oh my gosh, Buddy Hield tip off 368. I heard to get a legendary pack, you may need to have a challenge completed. Yeah, I heard some rumors about that too. I haven't seen anything confirmed yet though, right? I haven't seen anything confirmed on that. All right, let's take a look at Cool Cats because that one ends today at 1, correct? That one ends today at 1. Yeah, today's April 5th. So usually on the last day, you see a pretty big dip, and I was surprised. I don't know if because it got so low on Friday and Saturday, people were like, oh, we screwed up. But you're seeing like Dragic was sitting in the 70s, and that's back up to 85. Sabonis at 94. The Zinger at over 100 now. Shea back up to 110, and Barrett's up to 120. So I wonder if at like noon if we see this tank. But 564 to get it, and so far 6,400 have completed it, which actually is more than I thought we're going to complete it. So because this is how many completed the AD? I think it was. Let's look at how many people completed the AD. I think it was like 7,500 or something, 7K. So almost exactly that. All right, let's go back to Cool Cats 3. So we get a lot of challenges. We get a lot of challenges ending quickly. So we've got this one ending today. The Rising Star one ends tomorrow. I think we get that Metallic Gold one ending today. And did the Seeing Stars end, or it's about to end, right? Let's look at Seeing Stars. I feel like I disrespect Seeing Stars too much. This one ends, yeah, today at 1 o'clock as well. 2154 to complete it. But the Luka's down to 3. So Luka and AD are the 2 most expensive moments. But you're going to see it right now. So let's see. You got 4,200 that have completed it. And honestly, like, do we think, like, where do we think this number drops off? Do we think if you've got 6, are you still buying the next 6 today? But let's be generous and say it gets to 5K, right? Let's be generous and say it gets to 5,000. Let's go look at LeBron's moments and see where do we think this levels off at? Like what price? So out of 15K, his 3-pointers at 590. His series 1 moment out of 3K is 2890. His series 2 out of 7,500 is 770. So where do we think this settles around? Like somewhere around 1,200, 1,300? Should be in the 800 to 1,000 range. Okay. I was thinking a little bit higher. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher than that, but I'll be curious. I'm excited to see where that lands. Beamer says sell now and buy back later today. Yeah. If you're not completing the challenge, is that what you mean? Or even if you are completing the challenge, you think you flip it right now? Good thought, Beamer. Good thought. But yeah, I'm excited to see what that is. All right, let's go over to none of those. Let's go over to Rising Stars 2. So the Zion ends tomorrow. Now, this is what I thought was interesting. So I thought there was going to be let's start at Rising Stars 1. I thought there was going to be way more Rising Stars 2 than Rising Stars 1 completed, just because the price. I thought the price was a lot cheaper because you didn't have to get the LaMelo, and there was 1,040 of the Anthony Edwards. Okay, now maybe we see a big bump today and tomorrow. Like I still need to get the Denny Avdia, so once I get that, I'll move from this category to this category. But right, so we got 5. Now it says 569. 569 completed. I mean, I don't see more than like 750 getting completed, right? So you're seeing, I really thought maybe we see a big push today and tomorrow. Like maybe people were just waiting for this to tank. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited to get a Zion like sub 800, maybe sub 800. So let's look at Zion's moments real quick. Let's see what we got here. So out of 7,500, that's down to 165. His 15K moment is 119. His series 1 assist is 1,650. That's out of 1,600. Let's let's find his series 2 out of that's a Seeing Stars 135. His series 1 double badge moment 1500 is 1700. So like, I don't know. I mean, his other series 1 moment is over 5K. Like I can't tell what that price is going to look like. So I'd be curious what the chat thinks. Like, do you guys think it's going to be over 3K? Right? Because so let's look at the Anthony Edwards moment on Top Shot. I want to see where that is because I know that was coming down near 2K. Oh my goodness, the shoulder. Okay, so it's settling at 3K. Now there might be 300 less of the Zion than Anthony Edwards. Now I would say the Anthony Edwards moment is nicer, but Zion is a freaking monster. Like I think like his ceiling as a player, his floor is higher than Anthony Edwards, but his ceiling is also higher than Anthony Edwards. So I would have, and he's just like more loved on the site. I don't know. I'm very interested to see. I guess that the other argument for Anthony Edwards' moment being more expensive is there's just less moments. Like he's only got 4 moments on the site, but long-term that'll change. Like long-term, he's going to get more moments, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious what people think in the chat about the Zion price. So throw some speculations in there. A Deep Threat says it will be the same or a little less than the Utah dunk. Interesting. So you think it'll be less? Yeah, sort of saying that Anthony Edwards moment is the best moment out there. Frank says at least 3K on Zion, but fire sale on some other moment requirements. Yeah, I mean, I do think we'll see. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I've talked about this, but the rising star moments, like you're getting, I mean, Denny Avdia, it's a rookie moment, which is nice. So he's got some badges. And I mean, he's shown some flash, like with Bradley Beal out, he's getting some more minutes and more usage. The Nickeil Alexander-Walker one, I know like he's not buried. I shouldn't say that. But like, okay, say Zion moves. They move off of Zion. Not Zion. Jesus, they're not moving off Zion. Say Lonzo moves, right? So Lonzo sounds like he wants to go to New York or Chicago. Lonzo moves. Eric Bledsoe is an old washed man. This backcourt's going to be Alexander Walker and Kira Lewis Jr. And Alexander Walker has looked pretty nice with the games that Lonzo has been out. And you can tell he's had a nice little run because on DraftKings he was priced up at 7,000 yesterday. Normally he's like a 38 to 4,400 player. So to see Alexander, I like holding that Alexander Walker moment. And Michael Porter Jr., same thing. Like I really like Michael Porter Jr., the RJ Barrett. Like I don't know. I feel like these are just good moments to have. Now, granted, you got to keep in mind I'm completing the challenge, so all of that with a grain of salt, right? All of that with a grain of salt. Jesse Kerr says I'm thinking around 1,500 for Zion, especially if we get 800 complete. Really? All right. I think it's gonna be higher. I think it's gonna be over 2K at least. Beamer, if more moments were memorable like the Anthony Edwards dunk, I think you'd see more people attached to things and prices wouldn't be so up and down all the time. So you think we're like reacting more to the players themselves than the actual moment? Interesting thought. All right, We the People. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I like him a lot. Let's actually, I just want to see what we got on him in the market. So his first moment on the site out of 12K is $30. $30. I legit might buy this right now. And then his rising star is 232. Now I know it doesn't have a ton of badges. This is kind of like, I like this $30 buy more than the rising star, only because it's his first moment on the site and it's like little investment. It's like $30, right? So you're not breaking the bank I feel like he has some ceiling. Because if Lonzo, right, if we really believe Zion and Ingram together can make sense, and you think the Pelicans will be a team that figures it out in the next few years, you put Alexander Walker now on a competitive team. Yeah. I don't know. I like this. All right. Caleb Martin was on I didn't know he was on the site. Is that real? Wow. Here we go. Let's see it. Let's see the Caleb Martin. Wow, that's a nice dunk. That is a nice dunk. Oh, I thought you were saying he was slow-mo, but you're saying he's got the slow. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice dunk. I mean, I'm not super high on Caleb Martin, but that moment itself is pretty cool. Satoshi says, random question. Do you think the lowest ask will hurt the market in the long run, or is it better than changing it to like auction type? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't really know. I think I've kind of like what they've done where like it lists the lowest moment, but you actually have to filter to get to it. I like that instead of the lowest moment just popping up first. Like the filtering that we can do now when we try to buy something, I think is really, really cool. I'm hesitant to get involved in the auction thing, only because that just feels like it makes it harder. But the positive, I mean, that's also, this is what I know versus the auction, which I haven't seen, right? So yeah, that's a great question though. I'm curious to see where they go from that. All right, we the people. I see. I saw you throw some Levert stuff in. Oh, whoops, some Levert stuff in there a few times. So let's take a look at Levert. Oops, that's not how you spell Levert. Let's try that again. All right. Wow. So series one moment. So his first moment on the site's 218. Out of 5K for series two, which I believe was his last moment with the Nets, is 44. Yeah. Man, the Pacers, dude, the Pacers are in tough shape, man. The Pacers are really in tough shape. They just can't figure it out. And I know I kept saying like they're the most disrespected on the team on the site, but I'm starting to think that they just might be bad, especially with Sabonis. Sabonis is hurt. I mean, we should probably give Levert a little more credit because he's just come back from injury, but I guess they beat the Spurs in overtime the other night and he went off for 26, 9, and 4. But with Sabonis dinged up, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. Ooh, let's look at that Vince Carter moment. I want to see that. Remember, this was at so back up to 2,200. Or just like you can just spend 150K. I don't know, get a legendary. I forget who asked the question earlier if we're looking at legendary moments. You guys want to all pitch in? Let's get 150,000 people watching this. We'll all pitch in $1. We'll go halvesies. We'll go halvesies on it. Speaking of which, listen, if you haven't had a chance to like the stream, ding, 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 go do that. We're going to stay at 50%. We're going to stay at 50%. Okay. So like that stream for me, baby. We just looked at it a second ago. I think to do it all is like 500 or a little over 500, Vaughn. All right. I wanted to look at Embiid too, since now that he's back from injury, I was curious if we saw like a big dip or anything. I mean, listen, I know this is out of 35K, but again, we're not the whale vault here. We are the minnow tank. You want to get in there? Get a little Embiid. $11 for an Embiid. Series 2 out of 15K, 41. I wanted to see his first moment on the site. I was eyeing this yesterday, so it's gone back up a little bit. But 729, man, for the first moment on the site. Woo! I like that. The dude was easily, hands down, the MVP. Yeah, Cat did shit on Embiid this weekend, though. That was a monster dunk. Let's look at Cat, and then I saw somebody say, let's look at Luka, so we'll do that too. All right, I sniffed into the mic. All right, Cat's first moment. Wow, 268, man. People hate Cat. People do, and I get it. He's in Minnesota. Minnesota sucks, just sucks. But I will say, dude, they are playing way more competitive basketball than they were at the beginning. They're losing close games now instead of getting their ass kicked. But he's putting up big numbers every night. Like if you do play daily fantasy, like Karl Anthony Towns is like dropping 50 more often than not. So to see 268 for his first moment on the site, man, $9. Wow, his Cool Cat is down to 75 now too. But a 35K moment is only $9. Remember, this was in the Conley challenge, right? And I believe Greg sold it for like 70 some odd. So shout out to Greg. His early adopters, 585. Yeah, like Cat's pretty disrespected on this site. All right, I'll look up Luka, but then I want to talk about tanking teams too, because I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have to be the most competitive tanking team of all time. All right, Luka's 15K moment down to 132. His Seeing Stars trickling down too, right over 308 with the challenge coming to a close. I'm sure that dips way below 300 after the challenge ends. His Cool Cats moment, man, to see that down to 2,200 hurts my soul. Long-term hold though. But yeah, Luka seems like, his legendary and rare stuff seems appropriately priced. His base series 1, first moment on the site, 4,300. But that step back, man, this step back 3 is just so sick. It's just so sick. Yeah, Luke is one of the dudes where his price holds. All right, let's pull up some Thunder. Can you believe it? We're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like everyone's probably like, what are we doing here? So the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Like they are trying to lose games, right? They're trying to lose games, but like, holy crap. They just like compete, man. They compete. And like they sat like Baisley's not playing anymore. Dort's not playing anymore. SGA's not playing anymore. So I think we're going to see all of these prices plummet quite a bit. And I'm buying low on these dudes. I really like the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I really like Lou Dort. I think Lou Dort's going to be a key player on a playoff team at some point. And there's so many dudes that we don't like. Isaiah Roby, that's another one. His first moment's $25. Muscala, baby. No, I'm not telling you to buy Muscala. That's the only one I'm not interested in. But SGA's first moment, $775, man. I'm keeping an eye on that. I really like that first moment. Baisley's another one. Triple badge right here, $195. Like that's really nice. That's really nice. So I'm in on the Thunder. I do. I like them. I know. It's stupid that we're talking about the Thunder right now, but I do. I really do like them. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Chris says Jackson Hayes, another Pell with potential, 90% free throw last month, started shooting threes last game. Yeah, man, Hayes had like a monster dunk too where he got teed up. I forgot. Where he got teed up and slapped his head a couple times. I forget, was that on Reggie Jackson maybe? But yeah, his first moment's 21. This is, again, I'm not saying Jackson Hayes to the moon, but if you're just trying to, you want a couple dart throws, $21 if Jackson Hayes does figure it out. Yeah. Trevor said, are there going to be Hall of Fame badges? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, though. That'd be cool if they did have one. RIP to the people who paid $500 for the Cool Cats. Man, I know, dude. I just don't think people saw that coming. Paul Pierce Instagram moment, top shot that. Man, Paul Pierce just wilding out. I wonder if he's on TV this week. Like, what do you think ESPN does? You think they sit him out for a couple weeks? I hope not. I hope not. Well, Charlie, here's the thing, man. We're holding on. We're holding on to PJ for dear life because as someone who has talked about him like ad nauseum over the last month or so, I have to hold. I can't sell on PJ now. Like I can't. He looks bad though. I will say that. But here's the thing, like with PJ Washington, and I said this earlier, but PJ is not a playmaker, right? He's not going to be out there like facilitating offense. He needs those guys around him. So you just took LaMelo Ball off the court. You took Gordon Hayward off the court. Terry Rozier is a playmaker, but not for other people. Like Terry's going to get his buckets. Same thing with Devontae Graham. Like he's more of a shoot first guard than he is to facilitate offense. So I think I'm not telling you to do anything with PJ. So, but I'm not selling him right now. I'm not going to sell him at the floor. I'd rather just take that to the grave. Yeah, Diallo tonight. A lot of people talk. Let's look at Diallo again. I know he was in the Thunder, but I want to see what they're going to do with his minutes now that Killian Hayes is back. Like, I know they're trying to figure out, like, does Josh Jackson have legs? Does Saban Lee have, like, they're trying to figure out their rotation. But I don't know. I do like I like Diallo a lot. I just hope they're going to continue to play him. Yeah, PJ's at the wedding for sure. All right, let's look at Darius Garland. Another reminder here. Let's do a little like chat. Like check. We're at 93 with 100. Listen, we just got to like the stream. Just hit that like real quick. We're going to be, and if you're new to Top Shot Takes, if this is the first time you've watched the Morning Marketplace, we do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And then we do a couple shows a week too with three of us, with Greg and Dustin, who we saw in the chat earlier, who are safe post earthquake. But we're doing that show tomorrow night at, well, let's say 8:30 Eastern. All right, check out Darius Garland. Ooh, baby. So, man, 188. Yeah, the thing, man, the Cavs are in such a weird spot, right? Because they do have some young talent in Garland, Sexton, Okoro. I don't know if we're going to include Cedi Osman. I just don't see a way out for them for a little while. I do think, $180 for a series one with all them badges, I think is pretty nice. So I do agree. I agree with it. I just don't know. Cleveland to me is kind of like the Kings, where you're going to see some good players, but I just don't know if they ever figure it out and get out there. But that's somebody I'll keep an eye on for sure. TJ, which moments currently at a loss would you double down on to dollar cost average? So this is a good question, TJ. I will say, I know Dustin has talked about this quite a bit, where he got some of the talented rookies at a high price that we've seen dip down. Like quickly with Ooh, I almost accidentally muted myself. You guys see that? Quickly was up in like the 800, 1,000, 1,200 range, and then it's dipped all the way down to 545. If you see this continue to dip, and I know Dustin has talked about this, so this is his take, not necessarily. I don't want to take credit for it because it was his smart take. But if that gets down to like 400 or 300, I get it. Like you rip and you buy another one because you believe in the player. So I think any of those moments I'm really into. Like Nikola Vucevic is one that I personally own. I own his Series 1 moment, and I think I got it at like 200, and then I saw it dip down to like 140, and I got it again. And then over the weekend, I saw it dip down to 63, and I got it again. Now, I'm not saying Nikola Vucevic is a first ballot Hall of Famer or anything like that, but what I like about it is he is, he's like he's in his prime right now. He's on a good team. And I don't know if he's going to be on the Bulls forever, but I could see Vuce someone who ends up being like a third piece on a championship team. So I like Vuce, but I think it's players like that. So I think it's guys who you think like you're not expecting their height to be this season. Those are the guys I'm doubling down on. So it makes sense on a lot of like young stars who are going, like Devin Booker's one, DeAndre Ayton, like guys like that, I think are who I'm looking at the most. Let's see. They said he's part of the core moving forward. This is about Diallo, right? Wait, is Plumlee really sitting tonight? Yeah, I love Isaiah Stewart. We've talked about him a bunch on this show. And wow, 155. Yeah, I like Isaiah Stewart quite a bit. And I made fun of this draft pick when it happened because it seemed like they could have gotten him at like 45 and they took him at like 16 or whatever it was. But he looks awesome, man. He's just like, he's got such good energy off the bench, and you can just tell he's got some Montrezl Harrell in him, and in the sense that when he comes in, it's almost like a breath of fresh air when he comes on the court. I like Isaiah Stewart quite a bit. I know, and everyone's probably making fun of me right now. Is there anybody you don't like? You say you like everyone. You're right. I do. I say that way too often, so I apologize. But I do. I love Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, let's look at this. I saw some chatter on Durant on Twitter this morning about like comparing his two moments, the seeing stars with the 7,500. Yeah, so it's down at 530, right? So you're asking, do you think it's going to drop more? I don't know. I mean, I think if the entire market continues to go down a little bit, you'll see it go down. But I actually think that will continue to be worth more than the 7,500. I think it'll be close. But as the market dips, I think that will continue to dip. But I think it'll always be a little bit more than the 7,500. I love that 7,500 moment. I really do. But you think, right? That should be worth more. There's 3,000 less. Excuse me. There's 3,000 less of them. So that should be worth more, right? All right, what else we got? Yeah, nice, Lucas. You packed the Isaiah Stewart. That's really nice. Vooch is a solid and long-term with Chicago. They need a true number one point guard. Yeah, they do. Satoransky's not cutting it. And like Kobe White. Man, Kobe White is someone that I can't figure out because he's got flashes of like awesomeness, but then just like a lot of simple things he can't figure out yet with them. We talked about Lonzo a little bit earlier, TT Rocks. I love Lonzo long-term, man. I think, again, let's look at his first moment. I think it's under 200, right? Yeah, 149, man. Lonzo's really good. And I think we forgot. We didn't forget. He wasn't really good until this year. But if Lonzo does go to someone like the Bulls, if he goes someone like even the Knicks, who could use a true point guard because Elfrid Payton's not doing it. And I think Emmanuel Quickley is more of a shooting guard, in my opinion. I mean, I know he creates offense, but anyways, I really like Lonzo. I think this is too cheap. I think this is way too cheap, and I will buy this. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to buy this. Yeah, I really like Lonzo. I really do. And I think because his brother's like the apple of everyone's eye right now, I think he's going under the radar. And I mean, he's shooting on lights out from three. I think that's the thing that's so surprising is that we thought he was going to be a ball dominant point guard, not ball dominant, but that he needed the ball in order to be successful. And that's not the case. He's turned into a great off the ball guard. So I really, really like them. The Moon. Do you believe the All-Star game Lillard are undervalued? Because look at their Top Shot debut dunk, which is at 6K. It's Dame time. Let's look at Dame. I just don't, man, all of the All-Star stuff, dude. I don't know. I just wasn't super high on it. And it's at 1,200. I mean, that's nice. But yeah, if you're comparing, would I rather have a Series 2 rare of 431 or base Series 1 first moment on the site 1350? Whew, I don't know. That's close. You know what the moment? This should be the most rare moment on the site. If you want to talk about that, this should be the most rare moment in the site. Step back three, game winner in front of fucking cars. In front of cars. Never going to see it again. Never going to see some car ball again. Sorry for the F-bomb early in the morning. Where's it? Yeah, dude, we need Robert Williams on this site. Give me the Time Lord, right? He's not on here. Because if he is on, yeah, he's not on here yet. Dude, the Celtics suck. But what they're doing is letting him play 30 minutes a game now, and he is a monster. Granted, he's done it against Charlotte, who is Cody Zeller and Bismack Biyombo. He did it against Rockets, which is Christian Wood. So, like, maybe we need to see him do it against a good center. But, yeah, I like that. Oh man, I missed. Oh, Chris, here we go. Where Brooklyn at? Stars in as an investment. KD, Kyrie, Harden. They might go on a 2 to 4 year run at rings. Yeah, I agree with you. I think they're all a little underpriced. And if you do think Brooklyn is gonna pop off, whoo, yeah, I agree with you. Mike's players like list is four pages long, and his dislike is LaMarcus Aldridge. Yeah, I don't like LaMarcus Aldridge. What did LaMarcus Aldridge do yesterday? Because I know Harden was out, right? And I know Aldridge first game, everyone's like, oh, look at LaMarcus. He's gonna fit in great here. He's gonna fit in great. Let's look at what he did yesterday. Wait, was this yesterday? No, that was Sunday. Here we go. They lost 115 to 107. LaMarcus Aldridge, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in 26 minutes. I'm out. Jay Worley, great comment, man. We talked about the Magic a little bit the other day. They're a team that I'm not saying the Magic are going to be awesome. I'm not but they're fun to watch right now because we're seeing so many young players get run. I know Cole Anthony's been dinged up, but we get to see some RJ Hampton last night. We get to see, Terrence Ross, feels like he's the king of the world right now. He just comes in and chucks. He was already doing that, but now he doesn't have to pass to anybody. But we're seeing Mo Bamba get some run. Wendell Carter Jr. is healthy and looks like a young Al Horford right now. You're just Chumo Kiki. You're going to see a lot of the Magic just get run. Their young dudes get run as they become the worst team in the league. But I think there is some buy low opportunity because no one's going to be paying attention to the Magic. So just watch some Magic games. Watch some because I do think you're going to have a leg up on some of the young talent there. What do you think of Mikal Bridges base moment? Planning on copying that one. We've been pretty high on the Suns. We haven't talked about them a lot lately, but we were pretty high on them at the beginning, right? Because if you subscribe to the fact that the Suns are going to make a playoff run and that the market's going to come back up in the playoffs, I like Mikal Bridges. I do. For the Suns to make a run, he's not going to score 25 a game, but you could see him, his play win a game. Win a game 4 in a series or something like that, right? Because he does it on both ends. He can hit threes. He plays solid defense. Yeah. I forget which shot. Sorry, Devin. I missed that. Agree on Cole Anthony, game winner 3. Yeah, we love. I'm so far behind in the comments. I apologize about that. Yeah, Tom. John Morant's been pretty underpriced. He's also been playing kind of like shit. And I say that as someone who's rostered him in daily fantasy. He's just not living up to his price, but I love him. Long term, I love him. This year, I don't know if we're going to see it, but his 15K moment, again, this is what I really like. And because, a lot of us aren't spending 30,000 on this, right? And you can get a young star for $60. And I think those are the moments that are exciting because it allows you don't have to spend, you're not just getting your $9 Ish Smiths or Robin Lopez's or whatever. You have an opportunity to get somebody, for cheapish money. You get to get a superstar for cheap money. But his rising star at 600, the metallic gold we were talking about, 2,500. Does he have a metallic gold series 1? Wow. So his first moment on the site is 4,400. So yeah, when you compare that to and obviously his series 1 is going to be worth more than his series 2. It's got all these badges, right? I'm just saying that's such a huge drop off. So if you want a star, I think there's a way to do it. Yeah, we do need some Pokuševski. You're absolutely right. He looks like he's Slender Man's kid. If Slender Man had a baby, it's Pokuševski. Write that one down. That's gold right there. Yeah, conscious coma. But think about it. Whatever moment you bought when you bought that was gonna come down was going to come down a bunch. I want to see, yeah, Frank, this is what, I agree with this Orlando take. Yeah, 20-game stress test to see who's in their future. I agree. RJ Hampton's not on here yet, right? No. Okay, I like RJ Hampton. I do. I think he's going to be fun. I understand why the Nuggets had to get rid of him, but I do like him. All right, we'll chill for like 15 more minutes. If you got any questions, or 10 to 15 more minutes, fire them into the chat. Just a reminder, if you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. You have all of our information in our show notes. You can follow us at Top Shot Takes. You can follow me at Mike Zakarian. You can join our Discord. There's a lot of fun stuff happening in the Discord. You can see in the show notes. There's some daily fantasy talk happening in the Discord now, which maybe I force fed. I also am doing Swish for the first time. You guys participate in Swish? That's been kind of fun. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but it's fun. But yeah, join the Discord. We have a good time over there. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. All that stuff, people. Gonzaga or Baylor? Yeah, dude, Gonzaga is a professional team, right? They should just be playing in the NBA. I love the Zags right now. I felt so bad for Dustin. That was like, because he's a big UCLA fan. And the thing you're reminded about in college basketball, and we saw it last night too at the Stanford-Arizona game. Shout out to Stanford for winning the college championship. It just sucks watching college kids lose, right? It's just a bummer. I like watching professionals lose. Watching college kids lose, it just bums me out. But I do. I love Gonzaga. Gonzaga, they're just like a professional team. They're so good. Vincent, what's up, Vincent? Series 1 dunk, or Sexton Series 1 dunk, or Triple J Series 1 dunk, or both. I love Jaren. I love Triple J. A Jaren Jackson Jr. fan, huge Triple J fan. I know a lot of people do like Sexton. I don't know. I like Sexton too. I should say that. I like Colin Sexton. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. more, but he's a little bit more injury prone, so it's a little scary. So up to you. Up to you. The drop. I'll breed you a guy's a horse and name a Top Shot Takes. Let's do it. The drop. We love it. We love it. Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Timmy. His facial hair thing is interesting. So every time he gets a bucket, he does this every single time. I kind of like it. He's like memifying himself. But this is his height, right? Like, it's not like he's going to come to the NBA and dominate, I don't think. So I'm going to let Timmy live. Let Timmy live. Oh, yeah, Vaughn. Dude, give me a Moses Brown moment. Give me a Moses Brown moment. No, there's plenty of people I don't like. All right. I don't like Aldridge. I'm a little out on Colin Sexton. There's plenty of people I don't like. Kevin Frazier, Rondo Series 1, first moment assist to LeBron, or KD Series 2 for 7,500. Man, Rondo's one of those dudes where, sure, maybe he wins the title with the Clippers, if you believe in that. I don't think Rondo's going to do anything more in his career that's going to rise his ceiling. But I do think when he retires, he makes the Hall of Fame. He's won a couple championships. I think I would rather the KD. This might be wrong, but I think I would rather the KD. I don't know. Kyrie Series 1, 3,500 LE steals moment. Yeah, dude, Kyrie's pretty underpriced on here. I'll pull up the share screen again. Pull it up while we pull up Kyrie. Where's his Series 1 at? Yeah, 396. Again, you're getting a Series 1 moment, which we've been preaching this whole time. That's a nice little strip. Woo, buckets. God, that's nice. That is nice. Yeah, I like that. That does feel too cheap. Yeah, okay, let me address the Conley, all right? I do like Mike Conley. I do. I just thought that moment was ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. I do like Mike Conley. Yeah, you're picking up. Tom, are you talking about the Rising Star one or the Seeing Stars one? I see, Deep Thread, I think most of them, even when you look at the marketplace right now, and if we filter by, can we filter? No, let's close. Lowest ask, right? Hold on. Now it's not working. Here we go. So lowest ask. So Victor Oladipo. Wow. Can you believe Oladipo's the lowest ask? But even if you pulled 3 Victor Oladipos, you're still up $6. So that's what I'm saying. I think there's still value in the packs. I think what we are done seeing is probably 10xing. Like, you're not going to get a $9 pack, get 3 moments that are like, okay, and it's going to be worth $90. I think we're coming down from that now, which I think, again, that's That's Top Shot's goal. They don't want it to be this expensive. So to get involved. So I do think it's going to come down. But I think it's still going to be worth more than $9. What do you think about Luke Kennard? I played his high school in high school when he was there. You played against Luke Kennard? I think Luke Kennard is nice. I think the Clippers overpaid for what he is. He's a scorer that comes off the bench, but like they paid him a lot of money to do whatever, you know? Thoughts on Julius, man. Listen, no city likes basketball quite like New York. And even though Brooklyn's in the same place, the Knicks still own this city. As someone who lives in New York, I can tell you that. The Knicks are still the talk of the town. And like, if the Knicks make any sort of noise in the playoffs, like Julius Randle's going to get a lot of love. Randle, quickly. I feel so bad for Mitchell Robinson, man. Which also, honestly, let's talk about Drummond going to the Lakers and not the Knicks. Imagine if he went to the Knicks. Like, then he really would have been meaningful, where I just don't think he's going to be meaningful with the Lakers. But, yeah. What else we got? I think the big flip days are gone. Yeah. That's what I think I'm of this mindset, except we need to open it for content on here, but I agree with you. Somebody asked about Powell, Norman Powell. Man, I love Norman Powell as like, not as a Top Shot investment. I like Norman Powell as a basketball player. So everybody chill out before he's like, add it to the list of players Mike likes. But his series 1 is only 115. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So debut, Cali versus New York. Are base moments more desirable down the road? I think so. I lean towards series 1 base moments and MGLEs. Like, I do think the metallic golds will continue to hold value, but I think like if you're deciding which one to get, I think for me, I know this is only out of 1,000, but I think for me, I'd rather have the base series 1. Like, I'd rather save that $80 or whatever it is. That might be bad advice though. So, you know, I think a lot of people will disagree with that because it's a lower serial mint, but I just do like the base series 1. That's kind of where I'm at. I know, Wolf. I know. Listen, it is a 2-team town, but that's like saying the Yankees and Mets. Like, the Yankees still rule. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you, though. I'm with you. Ooh, I don't think there is a Gary Trent. Gary Trent, who that dude is getting, no Gary Trent on the site yet. Gary Trent is getting buckets with Toronto. Now, granted, Toronto is like not trying to win as hard, I don't think, but he is getting absolute buckets right now. And I can tell you that because I played Pascal Siakam in fantasy the other night instead of playing Gary Trent. And Pascal Siakam decided, hey, I don't feel like playing today. So keep that in mind. Let's clear this. All right. Anything else before we get out of here? Just one last reminder to like the stream, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. As always, Billy, good point. Just like the Lakers and Clips. I'm with you. As always, we do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. So come on back. Follow us on Twitter at Top Shot Takes. Follow me at Mike Zakarian. Join the Discord. We the people play Toronto. That's right. You got to. You gotta. So but follow us. Do all the fun stuff. And good luck if you're completing challenges. Hopefully all the prices drop for you today. And tomorrow we can do some victory laps. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. See y'all on what was I going to say? See you on the flip side? What the hell? I got to figure out how to start and end these shows better. All right, we out.